Energized show, up the Irish.
Okay, what's going on, guys, and welcome to a brand new episode of Energized, the Face Off. Russ, introduce the guests, man.
Today we have champion versus champion cage conflict, July 23rd. It's going to be an epic one. The most experienced featherweight in the country in Karl McConway versus one of the most hyped featherweights in the country, Keogh. But this one's at Bantamweight. It is going to be an epic clash. Karl, how do you feel about cutting back down to Bantamweight? And how do you feel about fighting Keogh, who's 10-0?
The cut makes no difference. The featherweight one was same day weigh-in, so I was going around at the same weight. And then Keogh's a good opponent, 10-0 now, so type of lad I want to be fighting.
And then Keith, obviously you're undefeated in your career, but you haven't. I'd say if you add up all your other fighters' fights together, they might not have had as many fights as Karl McConway. How do you feel about stepping in there against him? Is this a step up in competition for you?
Yeah, definitely. Karl's, as he's fucking said, he's active, he's fighting every week, and they're the type of fights I want to be taking. You're in amateur, you want to be taking fights that are hard against tough opponents, good opponents that are ballsy, and there's no better man to do it, to be fair, and comes from a great gym and stuff. So yeah, these are the type of fights I want, especially getting to this stage in my career where you're kind of thinking about that pro stage. You don't want to be fighting not bums or whatever. You want to be fighting good fellas and getting good experience in people that have cage time. And this is the fight. Yeah, it's going to be a cracker.
Yeah.
Myself and Ross
always say there's no card in Ireland. There's no MMA card in Ireland on without Karl McConway's name on it.
He's as active as they get.
Well, there was that one Cage Legacy a while ago, the one Gary Rooney and Jamie Abbott Bissett didn't make it to that one, but yeah, look, if I'm able to recover from the fights, I may as well take as much as I can. It's the best way to go.
It definitely is. Just want to say, actually, well done to Keith and all the IMAT team over in the UK representing Ireland, the Four Nations. That was epic, and congrats to yourself and Jordan for splitting the gold again. You know what I mean? There's never been as much split gold I've seen all my life, but you know what? I love the two lads, so I'm happy enough for them to do it. Keith, did you get to see Karl's fight down in Premiere? What did you make of it?
To be fair, lads, I didn't actually get to see it because I think the time he was fighting was the time I was fighting over in England, in Liverpool at the Four Nations, so I didn't get to see it, to be fair. So I can't comment on it. Can't really say much about that one, to be fair.
Fair enough. And Karl, obviously you weren't successful in your opportunity for gold at Premier FC. What mistakes did you learn from in that you're going to carry forward into this fight and be better?
Well, I got to work on my defensive wrestling and not get caught on the back foot. I think if I got someone trying to take my back and take me down like that, I can't just be trying to just defend and escape, maybe roll up on top. Sometimes I escape the back, get onto top full guard, and it's kind of it's a handy way to get on top, and the other person doing all the work. Can't rely on that. Need to get out of position, turn them, and go attack myself, because I'm a better offensive wrestler than a defensive wrestler. So I need to be putting people on the back foot instead of being put on the back foot.
Yeah, fair enough. And Karl, tell us this. Obviously, you're 12 and 10 at the moment. That's 22 amateur fights. Right. At what stage did you think you'll look at changing into the pro ranks?
This is my last year at amateur now. This is my last year at amateur. So I have this fight, and then I'm going to take August and September off fights. That's the plan, and just work on what I'm weak at, because when I'm just doing fight after fight after fight, I'm just working on my strengths. So I need to just take the time off, round out my game, and then whack out a few fights between October and December, and then looking to go pro then 2023.
And then obviously yourself, Keith. What about yourself? Because you're 10-0 at this stage. You've breathed through a lot of the people you fought. What about yourself? Will you think going pro soon?
Yeah, well, no, not this year anyway. This year for me, coming into this year, I was kind of thinking about IMAS really, and obviously winning the nationals going to give me that opportunity to do that. So I know the Euro still hasn't happened yet, and the Worlds haven't happened, and there's still yet to be announced dates and venues. So the minute they're out, that's kind of my goal for this year was to get an IMAFs, especially before I turned pro. It was like, you know, getting IMAFs, all the lads in the gym, like Alex, Jordo, Trev, everybody, they've all have IMAFs experience. So for me, coming up through, as even I was always a lot younger than them, like, or a couple of years younger, seeing them do it, I was always kind of like, yes, let's get in and do the IMAFs, you know. So I want to get in, get the IMAFs experience first. Or like maybe next year, like, listen, if I'm good enough next year, then I'm like, right, let's go for it. If I'm not good enough, like, if I feel like I still have stuff to work on and stay an amateur, like, I'm only 21, like, still, so it's just kind of a waiting game as well. Like, you know, I'm not rushing anything, and as well, like, Bantamweight this year, I kind of wanted to test it out. Like, I'm fairly, like, I walk around very light, like, you know, when I'm fighting at featherweight and weighing in at 64 and stuff. So this year was kind of been like, right, let's get the weight right for 61, do IMAFs at 66, and just kind of kick on from there, get the experience in, get as many good fights as I can. And yeah, so it's, for me, it's the IMAFs after this. That's really what I have my heart set on, and then we'll see where I go from there, you know.
Yeah.
Brilliant. Love to hear it, Keith.
This fight here goes down at Cage Conflict 7 on July 23rd. If you are looking to get tickets, make sure to jump on the Carl's Instagram. And if you're looking for tickets, make sure to jump on the Keith's Instagram. Karl, like, you're obviously with SBG Charlestown right now. Can you tell us how much your game has developed ever since joining on Roddy and the team?
Well, yeah, definitely. I feel like I'm getting sharper with the striking. Like, obviously, I still got a ways to go with it. Like, but they're improving me with that a whole lot. They're like I'm saying, I still got a lot to work on, but they're improving my footwork. They're giving me way more weapons on the feet, and there's way more wrestling sequences now. So, like, I'm getting more and more options from the clinch, and yeah, I feel like that's some of the main things I'm improving on now. There's also real good jiu-jitsu. Like, I'm getting a lot of, like, really good rolls since coming to Dublin. Like there's loads of really good jiu-jitsu practitioners all over the county. Like, you know, so like, I'm improving a lot. But I think mainly from Charlestown, and like, my wrestling and my striking is getting a lot better, I think.
Nice one, Karl. And Keith, like, obviously CMAC are blowing up over the last year, like yourself. Like what's in the water in CMAC, and like what's the sort of like ethos behind the team to, like, be pushing you so far? Your likes of Jordan, your likes of Ross. Like, what's going on in the water at CMAC?
Yeah, I think it's always been there, like, lads, you know. I think, like, we've always been a top gym. I think it's just kind of results are starting to show now, and I think the way that we go about things, as in getting experience, improving first, that's kind of why I think now all that's paying off. Obviously, we're winning, you know, all the time and stuff, so it's good to see now. But I think we work as a team a lot more, you know. I was only touching on this the other day, like, we're all very close in the gym, you know. So if one of the lads see me doing something that they don't think, like, as in fighting wise, like, they spot like a mistake in the game, they'd say it to me, or vice versa, like, you know. So I think the way that we're all so close, we're all, like, more than teammates, we're all friends. So the way that we're all really close like that, I think that's how we develop much quicker. You know, I think it's a great gym, it's a great environment. I've always been there, I started there, and just trusting your coach, and then we all do, we all have, and I think it's just really, really starting to pay off. And I think the next couple of years, again, you're going to really start to see the benefits when we go pro and stuff like that.
I love the way you took a moment there, Baz, and said if they see me doing something wrong in the cage, they didn't talk about them doing anything wrong outside the cage, you know, like wearing that Liverpool jersey.
Oh
my God. Me and you after this one, I tell you.
I'll tell you what's called. Have your back in about 30 seconds. No bother.
Yeah, but that's why
the high guard is no good with me, pal.
I love it.
This fight is definitely going to be unmissable, lads. It's champ versus champ. Karl's defending his title. Keith will look and become the Cage Conflicts champ. Like, this is going to be an absolute cracker, Ross.
Yeah, it really is. Karl, tell us this. No one's been able to solve the Keogh puzzle yet. What makes you think you're the man to do it?
Well, I see, like, he's got a lot of volume in his strikes. He throws a lot of volume, backs people up. I think I can handle the volume, land some good shots in the feet. I think if we get the position down to the ground where it's full guard, Keats one fights off his back, which is something not many people do. And you're talking about his high guard. He puts them in that, and like, he's put a guy out from there, and he's outlanded them with ground and pound from there. I'm strong from that position, so I do back my guard game against that bottom guard, and I think I can win that position.
And then Keith, this is by far, like we said, your most experienced opponent. What makes you think you're going to stay on the field and get your hand raised and add another belt to the collection?
I just think I'm all rounded, lads. You know, I just want to kind of come in here, show that I'm all rounded, show like I can walk with wrestling, I can walk with my striking, I can walk on off my back, on top. I just think I'm very well rounded, and that's what I'm trying to incorporate in my game a lot lately. Try to mix it all together. This is MMA. Like, I'm trying not to be one dimensional. I'm trying not to be just good at my back, just good on top, just good with striking. I'm trying to just mix it all up, and I feel like that's from going forward. Like, you'll start to see that a lot more, and it'll be starting from next week.
And then I'm just going to ask you one last question each. Karl, you said you want to get one or two more in this year. Is there anyone across the bantamweight or featherweight division in Ireland who you'd like to test yourself with? Obviously not named Keogh.
Right. I think before going pro, Elvis Luco will be a good one to go against because he's doing the best right now. I think that'd be a fight to make from October, November, December, sometime like that. I think that'd be a good fight to do.
And what about yourself, Keith? Is there any featherweights or bantamweights so you're like, you know what, I'd love to test myself against them?
Not particularly, lads. Like, for me, it's getting the experience, getting the hard fights. If names are thrown at me, like, you know, it's amateur for me. I'm not one to start name dropping an amateur. Like, you know, we'll keep that for pro. That's just me personally. So I'm just here getting the experience. Good guys are getting thrown at me. I'll take the good guys, and I'm just here to get better. This is what the amateur game is about. So I'm here to just really try to fucking improve my game all around, keep winning and keep going forward. And no matter who's trying to be put in front of me.
No, we love the honesty, lads. So like we say, we think you're two of the best in the country, and we're just looking for to see, especially at amateur, see the best fight the best. And then when you turn pro, like we're less all for the Irish domestic fights. We'd rather cheer Ireland versus someone else. But guys, exactly. you are two of the absolute best. Karl, anything to say before we head?
Just want to thank all my training partners in SPG Charlestown, anyone I train with at all. Thanks for training, thanks for helping me improve all the time. That's all I want to say.
And what about you, Keith?
Yeah, same again. Thanks to all my sponsors as well if they're watching. Wouldn't been able to do the Four Nations without them. And yeah, same again to all the CMAC lads, you know, with the fucking day in, day out, making me better each and every day. So yeah, thanks to all them.
United.
Lads, we want to thank you for both jumping on. This is definitely one bantamweight title fight not to be missed. As I said, if you want to get tickets, make sure to jump on the Karl's Instagram. Make sure to jump on the Keith's Instagram. The pay-per-view link will be on Cage Conflicts Instagram as well. So make sure to tune in July 23rd. Ross, take us away, bud.
Thanks a million for all watching at home. If you haven't watched this and have enjoyed it, make sure to subscribe. It really helps us. It really helps the lads. It helps all of Irish MMA. Make sure to like, share, drop a comment on who you think is going to win this fight. And as always, stay energized.
Energized show, up the Irish. Been sussing you guys a couple of times. I've seen a couple of clips. I think you've done some interviews with Dylan Moran and that I saw. So keep going. Keep up the good work, guys.